What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with another video. And when I tell you this is a sad story, this is a sad story. Marvin Sapp is going out bad. And I'm like, is this the same Marvin Sapp I used to follow on social media that got jokes, that was lighthearted and fun? Is this the same Marvin Sapp? He's always been known as like a peaceful, pleasant person, but apparently he held the members of his church or wherever he was preaching captive. He held them captive until they would raise $40,000. And we're going to get into everything wrong with that in this video. The legal complications, like you can't just be holding people captive, as well as the spiritual complications. And this being the reason that a lot of people don't go to church. A lot of people want nothing to do with this type of behavior, myself included. So we're going to get into all of that in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And everyone, click the thumbs up button. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is almost like a first watch for me. Like, I watched the first few seconds of this video on the Neighborhood Talk, and I was like, I got to do a video. I got to do a video about this. Shout out to Kyle Anthony at the Neighborhood Talk. But I have not seen this video in full. But the caption says, "Not trapped in church, child." Marvin's, look, a new meaning to a lock-in, right? Marvin Sapp wanted that money paid immediately. Thoughts? So let's get into the video.
Take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't.
Even if you ain't got it. And that's the thing. A lot of people in church, a lot of people, period, especially nowadays, people just ain't got it. So for him to say giving is worship, the problem with that type of thinking is that if you say giving is worship and everybody ain't got it to give, then you're making people feel bad. Like that spiritual manipulation, and it's abuse. It's abuse. It's spiritual abuse, because you're making people who don't have the money feel like they can't worship. They can't afford to worship. And that is a problem. That is a problem. And I know that's not biblical. It's not. And a lot of times, so many church leaders, like, they interpret the Bible based on their own interpretation. And it's just not right. It's not right.
The time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy.
Now, this is also a tradition in a lot of Black churches, and I don't want to get into naming names as far as the type of Black churches, but a lot of Black churches, and I say Black churches because the white churches I've been to, I haven't seen these lines where you line up. If you're giving $20, you get in this line. If you're giving $100, you get in that line. If you're giving $1,000, you get in that line. And it's kind of like a show. It's all a big show. And I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And I feel like it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the people who just don't have it to give.
These saints, this is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. That's it. And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
He just broke the law. He just broke the law. He just broke the law. When you close the doors and say, can't nobody leave till we all leave, you're breaking the law. Number one, you are holding people like hostage. You're literally holding people hostage. When you say close them doors, can't nobody leave till we get this money, we're not leaving till we all leaving together. Number one, you're holding people hostage. And number two, it's a fire hazard. Like when you have a group of people like that, you got to have exits, and it has to be a certain number of open exits, and at least one, but there has to be a certain number based on, how many people are in the room. So if you're saying close those doors, that is a fire hazard. I don't want to say the church gets shut down, because it's not the church. I don't even know if this is his church, but I hope he faces legal ramifications for breaking the law. And even the Bible says that. The Bible says obey the law. And so locking, just from a legal standpoint, locking people in a room it's illegal.
Close the doors. Close the doors.
Apparently, I guess some people got some sense. And when he said close the doors the first time, apparently the ushers didn't really close the doors. I know if I'm ushering now, and I used to be your top usher, you looking at the usher, junior usher boy, vice president. But I would be like, who closing the doors? Like, I know you ain't talking to me. So apparently they didn't close the doors when he first said it, because people know that's wrong. That's kidnapping. It's illegal.
We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
And there it is. There it is. He wants that money. The money, he wants a sacrifice. Instead of people, you know how people go out to eat after church? Instead of spending that $40 that you were going to eat at the buffet, the Golden Corral, the Old Country, he wants you to give that $40 in church. Even if you already gave, give again until they get to $40,000. And it's so many things wrong with that. It's like you're teaching people that they can buy a blessing. Like how he said, this is an easy miracle. So basically, you're saying you can buy your way into a blessing, which, like I said, it gives people who don't have it to give, it makes them feel bad. Like it's abuse to make them feel like, well, I'm not going to be blessed because I just don't have it to give. Like everybody ain't going out to dinner. And some people going out to dinner because somebody else paying. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they wouldn't be going out to dinner. So he is so wrong on so many levels.
There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's a
Yeah. Get y'all too. Y'all get y'all money out. Get the Cash App. Get the Venmo. Y'all give too.
1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all now.
No, it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. It's easy for him to write it off as a challenge and say, I'm challenging you to give deeper. But when you lock the doors, that's when the challenge ended. And that's when the challenge ended and the law began to be broken. That's where it all started, when you lock them doors. If you're just saying I'm challenging you, yes, that is still spiritual abuse, because you're putting people like in a bad situation, people who don't have it to give, or people who already gave and don't want to give no more. You're putting them in a bad situation. But when you close those doors, it went from a challenge to breaking the law. Marvin Sapp, you got to get it together. I thought he was better than this. I really thought he was better than this, than locking the doors and trying to force people to give.
Out here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get one soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap. That's swag. I was looking in her eyes. She's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again,
because now he's talking to the people. This is the issue. He feel like the people got it. That's the thing. That's why he's talking to the people standing up, like the other people in authority at the church. More than likely, they do have the money. So now he's shaking them down. Like, I know y'all got $100. Y'all probably got 1,000 to give. It is a shakedown, and it is so against the law to close the doors and shake people down for money. It is so against the law. It's against spiritual principles. It's against spiritual principles, because the idea of tithing, and really the whole idea of Christianity, is based on free will. Like, you follow Christ out of your free will. You follow him because you want to follow him. You give, you tithe because you want to give, you want to tithe. It's all free will. That's the basis of Christianity. And as soon as he locked them doors, the free will ended, because people are going to feel pressured. They're going to feel pressured to give more money, even if they already gave. He is so wrong. I don't know if he could be more wrong.
It costs to sit up here. I got you.
It costs to sit up here. I guess he's saying in spiritual leadership or church leadership, it costs to sit up here. Y'all don't want to know my real thoughts. Y'all don't want to know my real thoughts. You really don't want to know. But for him to say it costs to sit up here, like it's a platform. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be on my platform, it's going to cost you. And that's not how church should work.
See, so put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving.
See?
Bring them back.
And this is why I say it's all a show. Like those lines and stuff like that, they're a show. They want to see who is giving what. So you can't just put it in the plate. He want to see who's giving what. And what that does is embarrass people, whether they got it to give or not. At this point, if you got to visually, if people got to see you give, like they got to look at the cash money or look at your Cash App and see what you're donating, it's embarrassing people. So it's using shame and embarrassment to get people to give, which is manipulation. It's manipulation. And so when people talk about church hurt, how they've been hurt in the church, this is what they're talking about, the spiritual manipulation, someone who you look up to, which y'all got to stop looking up to people just because they're standing on a platform. Just because they got a position in the church, they are not to be looked up to. You know what I mean? But now we've come to spiritual manipulation, embarrassment, and shame being used to get people to give. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
Baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
I remember at my church, the church I grew up with, if you ain't have it to give, they used to be like, still walk around and touch the plate and just pray. And next time I'm gonna have it, God gonna bless me. Just touch the plate. But this is the complete opposite. I feel like he need to give at least 20K. Because I feel like he got it. Yeah, number one single.
Giving is worship.
He got it.
Giving is worship.
So here we go again. That's where we started the video. Giving is worship, which implies that if you can't give, you can't worship, which is just not true biblically. It's just not true. It's just not true. People aren't left out of worship. If they don't have it to give, they just don't have it. And they should be receiving. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I just want to share with y'all what Marvin Sapp and this church is up to. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. I know some of y'all are used to this and y'all agree with this. But I just have to let y'all know the locking of the doors is crossing the line. There's already spiritual manipulation. But when you get into physical manipulation, like locking the doors on people, that's holding people hostage and it is against the law. If you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlist and my podcast, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.